Hi there. My name is Ryan Hill. I go by the name of Guidewire, and I'm going to try something different here for my weekly music posts. Normally, I'll try to rush out a track, put out a track, find something from my archives, and polish it off a little bit so it's somewhat acceptable for the public, and I'll put it up on YouTube. Or previously, I was putting it up on SoundCloud, but I kind of moved it over to YouTube. And I thought today might be interesting to show you how I structure my folders for all my music throughout the years. I've kind of had this standard format that I started back in 2006 that I've kind of just kept on doing for a little bit more than a decade. Um, and I guess 14 years there. So I'm just going to kind of show you some of the some of my folder structure has changed a little bit, but for the most part, it stayed the same. Let's go to the desktop view here. Um, so I'm on a Mac, and see, I have this main Guidewire folder here. All the music I make is in Ableton, and I guess maybe 95% is in Ableton. And I have this sort of big Ableton folder that I've been maintaining throughout the years. I on my previous laptop, I had the same structure, so it was all I put all my tracks into Dropbox, and I've sort of synced them up between multiple computers that I work on. And so yeah, I'll periodically put stuff into other folders, but this Guidewire folder is the main one. And I've been doing this thing where I basically every year. Let's start with 2000. I guess I have 2007 is the oldest. I'll number the months and name the months, and then I'll just basically every month I'll go through and all the tracks I'm working on will be done in that month. So back in March 2007, I was fairly productive. 2000, April. On the Mac operating system, you can kind of see the number of tracks per folder. But so I'll basically just systematically move stuff over to a new folder per month. Now you'll notice here I have color coding on some of the files. I'm a big fan of the color coding system on the Mac, and I find it really useful to sort of like earmark tracks that I think will be interesting. Or right now, all the tracks that have a red dot on them, there's something wrong with those files. I haven't gone through everything, but every time I find something that has a problem with it, I'll mark it red. For a track that I think has some potential, I'll label it gray. And then so that will kind of attract my attention next time I come to that folder. and I'll go like, oh yeah, what's minimal all about? Um, and then I'll do the standard uh, sort of iteration of the files. So it's kind of funny here. I jumped from 2007, and my next, I guess, major save was 2015, and the last one here was, I guess, this year. I used to for these labelings. Let's see if I can show this. I used to add titles to them, but I kind of felt that was a bit more work to kind of pay attention to what they were. So sometimes I would do album worthy, or work in progress, yada yada. But up into a certain point in time, so like a lot of these tracks from 2007 to 2014, there's a certain point in time, I think maybe even 2016, on an older computer that I was running Ableton at 32-bit. A lot of when I moved to Ableton 64-bit, I couldn't keep up the use of a bunch of VSTs. Also, when I moved to a new computer, a lot of sound files were unlinked, so I had basically have to go and sort of consolidate the files so that that I have all the samples together in one folder. So I've just gradually been sort of chipping away at trying to find, go through a file and find, consolidate it and bring it back, and then check to make sure it runs on this computer, and then I'll basically change the color coding. And for a while I was hiding it on the Dropbox on the other machine so that I wouldn't accidentally do something with it on that other machine. I don't know if it's the best way to do it. Kind of syncing everything through Dropbox can be maybe a little bit messy. But it made it a lot easier to sort of get going again on files when I went to the new machine. But so yeah, and then so say I try to do this, but I'm not too consistent with it. But so say in July here, I'll try to show that there's something interesting inside that folder by color coding that. And I kind of don't do that maybe for the major years. I'll do that for months. For some of these that become like majorly interesting to me, I'll move them to a folder that I have called where is it? Let's go to albums, album worthy, and I'll bring those in and start dumping them into these. I've kind of decided, separated it by years, like the major sort of milestones of life, I guess. And then I kind of have some other working folders that are a little bit more unsure of themselves, I guess. And I think that's sort of it for now. Thanks for watching. I suppose I should tell you to hit the subscribe button. and tell your friends about me. Have a nice day.